Welcome to Silent Pain Stories, where the wounds you hide speak the loudest. These are the stories about toxic people, broken trust, quiet battles, and the strength it takes to walk away. If you've ever felt drained, misunderstood, or emotionally tired, you're not alone. This is Silent Pain Stories.
There was once a man who lived in a town so quiet that even the clocks sounded sleepy. Not broken, not stopped, just slow. Tick, pause, tock. The town rested between two long hills, covered with tall grass that moved gently when the wind passed through, as if the earth itself was breathing. The man's name did not matter much anymore. People used to know it once, years ago. Now they just called him the Walker, because every evening, at the same time, he walked. Not fast, not slow, just steady. Always the same path, from the wooden door of his small house, past the stone fence, along the dirt road, under the old trees, toward the river, and then back again. No music, no phone, no rush, only footsteps, soft ones, crunch, pause, crunch. His coat was long and light, moving slightly with every step. The kind of coat people wore when they didn't expect anything urgent to happen, and nothing urgent ever did. The road he followed had no traffic, no horns, no shouting, only the sound of wind touching grass, leaves brushing each other, a bird somewhere far away finishing its last song before sleep. Sometimes he stopped, not because he was tired, just because the air felt nice. He would stand near the fence, place one hand on the cool wood, and breathe. In, out, slow, long. Like someone trying to stretch time instead of chase it. The sky was usually pale orange, then pink, then deep blue. Stars appeared one by one, not suddenly, gently, as if the night didn't want to surprise anyone. The river waited at the end of the road. It was not wide, not loud. It didn't crash over rocks. It simply moved, smoothly, quietly, water sliding over water. The man stood at the same spot every evening, same stone, same angle. He looked at the reflection of the sky floating in the surface, clouds drifting, stars blinking. Sometimes he sat. Sometimes he stayed standing. Either way, he stayed long enough that even the river seemed to slow down. A frog croaked somewhere, then stopped, then another one answered, then silence again. On the way back there was a bench, old, wooden, slightly crooked. It rested under a large tree whose branches curved like arms protecting the ground beneath. He always sat there. Always. He didn't scroll, didn't read, didn't check the time. He just listened. Leaves whispering, wind brushing bark, faraway insects starting their night rhythm. Click, click, click. His breathing matched it, slow, steady, as if the bench itself was reminding his body how to rest. Windows glowed softly in the distance, yellow light, curtains moving. Someone washing dishes, someone yawning, someone turning off a lamp. The walker watched none of it closely. He simply noticed and let it pass. Thoughts came, thoughts went, like clouds. Nothing stayed long, nothing demanded attention. The night accepted everything quietly. When he stood up from the bench, joints made the smallest sound. Not pain, just proof that time was working normally. He continued walking, same road, same fence, same grass. The wooden door waited. He opened it. Inside was warm. A small table, a chair, a lamp with soft light, a kettle. He poured water, set it on the stove, waited. Steam rose. Not fast, not dramatic, just patient. He made tea, sat, sipped, slowly. One sip, pause. Another sip. The chair creaked. The room stayed still. The lamp hummed faintly. Almost nothing. the kind of sound your ears notice only when everything else stops. He watched the light touch the wall, shadows barely moving, the steam from the cup drifting upward, curling, disappearing, again and again. His eyelids grew heavy, not suddenly, gradually, like blankets being placed one by one. In, out. The kettle cooled, the tea level dropped, the night deepened. Somewhere far away, an owl called once, then nothing. The room listened, the man listened. Even silence had a sound now, soft, wide, comfortable. He didn't think about tomorrow, didn't replay yesterday, didn't plan. He simply existed, here, now. Chair, lamp, cup, breath. In, out. Slower, longer. The world became smaller, not scary, peaceful. Just this room, this warmth, this slow night. The tea grew colder. Not quickly, just enough that steam stopped rising. The man noticed, but did nothing about it. He sat, breathing, in, out. The chair held him. The floor stayed quiet. Outside, the wind slid along the walls, like it was checking every corner of the house. The lamp flickered once, then stayed steady again. Nothing dramatic, nothing urgent, just light doing its job. Somewhere beyond the hills, a train horn called, low, long, far away. It didn't come closer. It didn't hurry. It faded back into distance. A dog barked once, then remembered it was late and stopped. The man smiled, not wide, just enough to soften his face. He took another sip, set the cup down, watched the ripple inside settle, circle after circle, smaller, smoother, gone. He stood up, not suddenly, slowly, as if standing itself was optional, walked to the window, looked out. Moonlight touched rooftops. Trees barely moved. A curtain in another house shifted, then stayed still. The town was folding itself into sleep. Streetlights hummed, soft halos on empty roads. No cars, no voices, only the deep, wide quiet that comes after long days. He turned, walked down the hallway, each step muffled. Wood warm, air cool. His bedroom waited at the end, curtains half closed, moonlight leaking through. A simple bed, blanket smooth, pillow untouched. He sat, just for a moment, hands on knees, breathing again. In, out. Longer now, slower, like the room was guiding him. He removed his coat, folded it, placed it on the chair. Not perfect, just neat enough. Shoes came off. 1, pause. 2, placed side by side. The floor accepted them quietly. He stood barefoot, cold for half a second, then warm. The bedside lamp clicked on, soft yellow. Not bright, not dim, just gentle. The kind of light that doesn't ask questions. He sat again, pulled the blanket over his legs. Didn't lie down yet, just stayed, listening. The house spoke in tiny ways. Pipes cooling, wood settling, walls breathing. Tick, tick, from a clock somewhere far away. He leaned back, head on pillow, arms resting, eyes open, then half closed, then open again, then half. Breath slower now. In, hold, out. Long. The blanket felt heavier. Not heavy, comforting, like gravity turned gentle. Thoughts tried to appear, small ones, unimportant ones. He let them float, like leaves on water. No grabbing, no following, just watching them pass. The ceiling blurred, edges softened. The lamp became a warm blur. The room widened, then shrank, then widened again. At some point, he turned the lamp off, Darkness arrived. Not sudden, soft, friendly. The moon stayed, a pale square on the wall. Breathing continued, slow, even, long. Outside, nothing changed, which was perfect. The room stayed still, not frozen, just settled, like everything had agreed to stop moving for a while. The man lay there, breathing, in, out, each breath longer than the last. The pillow shaped itself around his head. The blanket warmed slowly, not instantly, gradually, like sunrise, but in reverse. Far away, something metallic clicked. A pipe, cooling, remembering the heat of the day. Then silence again, even deeper now. The kind of silence that feels thick, comfortable, heavy in a gentle way. He didn't shift, didn't stretch, didn't think about tomorrow. The night had taken that responsibility. The pale square of moonlight on the wall moved so slowly it almost wasn't moving at all. Minutes passed, maybe more. No one counted. The air felt smoother, like it had slowed too. Breathing followed it. In, pause, out. Longer. A memory tried to appear, just the edge of it. No sound, no picture. It dissolved before finishing. Another came, smaller. It floated, then faded. Nothing stayed long enough to matter. His forehead softened, jaw loose, hands heavy, fingers warm, the kind of warmth that comes right before sleep wins. The house was asleep now, not pretending, actually asleep. Every corner, every hallway, every closed door. The floorboards forgot how to creak. The walls forgot how to speak. Even the clock sounded slower. Tick, double E, tick, double E, tick, double E. Time stretched, wide, soft, unimportant. He was still there, but also not. Body heavy, mind light, like drifting on water that didn't ripple. No waves, no direction, just floating. Breath kept moving him. In, out, in, out. A perfect rhythm. Unforced, automatic. The mattress curved just enough. The blanket didn't move. The pillow didn't complain. Everything fit. Nothing needed fixing. The night wrapped itself around the room, layer by layer. Dark, warm, safe. His eyes were closed now, not tightly, just resting. Lids relaxed, stillness underneath them. The moonlight blurred. The wall disappeared. The room melted into shadow. Breathing slowed again, even slower, like the body was practicing being very far away. Nothing happened, which was exactly right. No sounds, no movement, no sudden thoughts, only air moving in and leaving, again and again and again. The night continued, wide, calm, endless.
The night didn't move. It simply stayed, wide, still, comfortable. The man barely felt the bed anymore, not because it disappeared, because his body had decided it no longer needed to pay attention to it. Breathing continued, in, out, soft, even, each breath smoothing the edges of thoughts. The ceiling above him faded, not literally, just in the way attention fades. It felt farther away, like the sky on a cloudless night, big, empty, gentle. No shapes to follow, nothing to hold, only darkness, slow and friendly. Between breaths, there was a pause, not forced, not held, just happening, a quiet space. Then air returned, in, out, slower still, the kind of rhythm that makes time forget itself. Weightless. Arms felt light, legs too,
as if gravity had loosened its grip. The blanket became part of him. The bed became part of the floor. The floor became part of the house, everything blending into one slow, soft thing. Somewhere far outside, wind touched a tree, just once, then left. A leaf shifted, decided it was done moving. Silence came back, thicker, kinder. The dark wasn't empty, it was full of rest, full of nothing needing to happen, full of no one asking anything. The kind of dark that feels wide open instead of closed in. Breathing becomes ocean. In, out, in, out. Slow waves, gentle, regular. The chest rose, lowered, rose again, like water meeting shore and leaving and coming back, without hurry, without effort. Gone enough. Thoughts didn't try anymore. They had given up. Not in a bad way, in a peaceful way, like workers going home after a long shift. Lights off, doors locked, quiet everywhere. The long, deep rest. Nothing changed, which meant everything was working. The body resting, the mind drifting, the night holding both, hour after hour, soft, wide, endless. Nothing interrupted the night. Not a sound, not a thought. Just the slow, invisible movement of time. The man lay there, barely aware of lying, barely aware of breathing, but still breathing. In, out. Like the room was doing it for him. The air felt heavier, not uncomfortable, cushioned, like being wrapped in something soft. The dark pressed gently from every side, not closing in, just holding. Minutes slipped by, or hours. The difference didn't matter anymore. There was no need to measure, no reason to count. The mind had placed its tools down, resting. Pictures tried to form, slow ones, half shapes, light and shadow. They didn't settle. They floated past, like clouds seen through closed eyes, soft, unimportant, gone. The world felt far away now, not lost, just distant, safe at a distance. The house was still, the town was still, the hills beyond were still, everything breathing at the same slow speed. The sense of having a body faded, not vanished, softened. Arms and legs were suggestions now. The bed was memory. The blanket was warmth. Only breath stayed clear. In, out, in, out. Long, even longer. There was no tonight, no tomorrow, no earlier, only now. Stretching, gentle, quiet. The kind of now that doesn't ask to be noticed. Darkness held everything, the way water holds someone floating, without squeezing, without dropping, just supporting. Hour after hour, breath after breath. The night stayed. Nothing changed. And that was the gift. The man remained where he was, floating somewhere between weight and weightless. Breathing kept happening, without effort. In, out, soft, long. Each breath smoothing the edges of the world. The room disappears. Walls no longer felt close. The ceiling no longer mattered. The idea of space grew wide, like standing in an open field at midnight. No fences, no roads, only dark sky and calm. slower than slow. The pauses between breaths stretched. Not held, just long, comfortable, like silence had decided to stay a while. Air came in, stayed, left, unhurried, perfect. Almost nowhere. The feeling of self thinned, not scary, gentle, like fog dissolving into night air. No edges, no sharp lines, just rest. Time no longer had shape. Minutes didn't line up. Hours folded into each other. There was only one long moment. Soft, wide, still. The dark ocean. Darkness felt like water, warm, holding. You didn't float on it, you floated inside it, supported from every side, safe, slow. Breathing becomes background. Still there, just not loud, like music in another room. Steady, calm, always. The long rest continues. Nothing asked for attention. Nothing needed response. The night kept doing its work, letting muscles soften, letting thoughts sleep, letting everything sink into quiet. Nothing shifts. Nothing signals an ending. The night simply continues. Breathing stays slow. In, out. Soft. Even. The kind of rhythm that doesn't belong to clocks anymore. The dark remains wide, comforting, not empty, full of rest. The house stays asleep. The town stays asleep. The hills beyond stay asleep. Everything held in the same calm pause. The man does not wake. He does not dream loudly. He drifts and drifts and drifts. Thoughts never finish forming. They fade before they start, like mist dissolving in cool air. Silence stretches, long, gentle, unbroken. The same as before, the same as always. And somewhere, far away, the clocks in the quiet town continue sounding sleepy. Tick, pause, talk.
If this opened your eyes, subscribe for more psychology and mindset lessons. And remember, protect your energy. It decides your future.